Hello and welcome to Ballam Road Farm. This is episode 2 and we're in the month of October. So the first job every morning is to collect the milk and get that into the creamery so that we can get our butter and cheese production going. So I did check up on the way down here to see if there was still milk in the dairy, and there was. So I'm going to put a full load of 8,000 litres in, and we'll check up again in the morning to make sure that there's still milk, or that we have an adequate supply of milk to keep the production going full tilt every day. That's going to be of paramount importance. And then of course any surplus can be sold. So at this stage it looks like 8,000 will keep that going for a full day, but we'll find out in November, in the morning of November, to see if this 8,000 has been fully utilized or not. Of course we're not doing chocolate at this point in time, so we're just doing cheese and butter. And I think as we go in, we'll just drop off the front end loader part of this. It's tight enough as it is without having to extend the length of the tractor. Just drop it off here. I must remember where I drop it off though. Yeah. It was like on these, well, on any farm, you put something down somewhere and then can't find it. You spend half the day looking for it. Not too much of a problem really. Nice small farm, so that it doesn't take a long time to get around the farmyard. Right, so let's get this into the creamery. Get the gates opened. Of course we mustn't forget that we have to supply during the course of this day the 2 farmers markets. We've also got to put some product into the farm shop, but I didn't check to see what was produced in the dairy overnight, but there should be something there, and hopefully there's enough there to, or by the end of the day, to supply all the, at least 1 pallet to the farm shop, 1 to each of the farmers markets, and then still have a little bit over to sell. Right, so we're offloading that. We've still got about 4,000 litres of milk down at the cow pasture, so I'm just wondering whether I should try and sell that or whether I should take it to one of the farmers markets. You know, I'm pretty sure that by the end of today we would have produced enough. And we did put some butter into the farmers market last night, and into the farmers market we put in, and we also put some butter into the farm shop. I don't think I might not have shown that, I'm not sure, but in any event, so we did supply everybody yesterday, so I'm pretty sure we'll be able to do that again today from there. So I haven't quite decided yet. Let's get it loaded up first and then we'll decide whether we should. I've just had a call from the ice cream cart selling station. They need milk urgently and they're paying a really, really good price. Wow. So I think I'm going to take a chance. I'm going to sell this load to the ice cream cart Well, we'll deliver it there. I'm not sure that he makes the ice cream on the cart, but it's at the. He's also part of the Gulf Road Farmers Market, so that was a bit of luck. Also helped in me making my decision whether I should put this into the into one of my own stalls or not. We just better hope that we've got enough by the end of the day to at least supply everybody else with 1,000 litres of some product. Right, so let's get back to the farm now and get on with our daily chores. Just park this up. So today we have to bring in the rest of the straw, at least get the 3 sheds in the farm area, this top farm area, bedded out. We've also got to start on the grass cutting so that we can get some silage going, because in November we have to bring the cows into shelter. That's going to be a long and tedious operation. I think the trailer that I have at the moment can only take 13 cows at the moment, so that's going to be a big job. That's going to be a whole day job at least. I want to get some silage started. I don't think it'll be ready before we bring the cows in, so we'll have to buy silage in, which is going to be a bit of an expense for this first year. So we'll have a look and see, but we'll make those decisions tomorrow, or should I say in November. So let's just get this loaded up. I won't show you all the collection of the straw. It's pretty basic Farming Simulator 22 operation. As we saw yesterday, we can get this into the main shed, so today we're going to find out whether this will be able to get into the old shed, or whether we have to make another plan. So I particularly want the dairy cows bedded down. The beef cows we will try and get bedded down, but if we have any problems with that, I'm not too stressed on having them bedded down, because I'll try and keep them out on the grass for as long as possible. I'll have to check up tomorrow what the weather conditions are like to see whether they will come in, but definitely the dairy cows a lot less hardy than the beef cows, so we need to bring those in first. They're the priority. Right, so let's see if we can get into this old shed. It looks like we should just about. It's going to be tight. It's going to be tight. Try not to drive into the wall. There we go. Yeah, it's looking good. Yeah, we just get in. Just get in. Just get in is good enough. We'll see if we can get out the other side. It looks a bit lower. I'm not sure we'll get out here, but we'll give it a try. Otherwise it's a backing up operation again, or reversing, depending on where you are and how you say it. I would normally say reversing, but I know a lot of people call it backing up. I suppose backing up is the right. Yeah, so that's pretty much done. It's full, so we can't put any more. There's a small amount of straw still in the. It's quite useful. You know that this is just about the right amount of straw for the old shed. I think we put 2 full loads already into the new shed, and there's still a bit more that can go in there. and then there will be a small amount into the small shed. Which is just to the left of here as we're looking at it now. But we'll put the next load that we collect in there. Oops. Talking and not concentrating on where I'm going. Putting a couple of scuff marks onto the equipment. I think there'll be a lot of bumps and scratches on our equipment in this tight farm, but that's to be expected. As long as we're not driving at 30 miles an hour into any of the walls, shouldn't do any major damage. Cosmetic, most of it. But then again, I don't know many tractors that these types of farms that don't have some sort of scuff mark on it. I should get out this time. Whoops. Hit it with a back tyre. There we go. Fine margins. Didn't have to make much of a correction just to get out. Just a case in point. Concentration is needed when moving in the shed areas, or the barn areas, whichever you want to call them. Right, that's done. Close the gate. Now we're just going to get we don't have a windrow, so we'll go and buy a windrow. The kids have finished mowing the top field. So just going to get a windrow, get that going. They can finish off rowing that up so that we can later in the day collect the grass and get it into a silage clamp. Just hoping we've got enough hours in the day. May have to go well into the night to get it all finished, but at this time of the year that's pretty much standard for most farms in the UK. No such thing as 5 o'clock clock off. Right, so we've got fairly small windrow, but it's big enough. It's not the smallest there, but it's certainly not the biggest. And this will be easily handled by the tractors that we have. As you can see, I brought one of the old styres out to come and collect it. So I think what we'll do is I will do the headlands, and then we'll leave it up to the kids to sort out amongst themselves who's going to do the rest of the windrowing, and then I'll just finish off the little bits and pieces at the end. Yeah, I think that's about the right size for these types of fields. Don't want anything much bigger than that. Let's get the headlands finished. Alright, that's the headlands finished. Put it onto the workers, and then we'll go and collect some more straw, try and get it into that second, or that small barn area. Not sure if it'll take it directly out of this forage wagon. Hopefully it will. Don't see any reason why it shouldn't, but we don't know for certain yet. We're going to find out pretty soon. I think this is just about full. Yeah, it's full. Convenient. Really close to the gate. We'll see you back at the farm. Right, here we are at the farm now. Let's just back that in there. Yeah, it's taking it, so there's no problem with that. Close the gate. Let's have a quick look. Yeah, so that's where the straw goes in there, in that small little barn. This is a calf's barn. No straw in there, there's a bit of grass in there already. And I think the manure is collected in that shed just in front of us there. Right. Yeah, so that's where they... I think it takes about 40 cows, that one. I can't remember. We'll find out. We'll find out tomorrow. We'll find out in November exactly what takes what. Alright, off we go again. Still got a little bit left in here. We'll go and pop this into the main barn. Hopefully it'll take it. Yep. So that's pretty much strawed up for the duration. There might still be a little bit more that can go in there. We'll try that a bit later. Oh, another little scuff mark. Another little scuff mark. There we go, another one. Not having a very good driving day today, that's for sure. Come on. Come on. There we go. Great stuff. Should be able to get out. Like this little tractor, it really does a good job. Well, there we go. We finished the windrowing. At least I think we finished the windrowing. Do we have to do a little bit more? Not sure. Let's go and check down the other end. Right, that's that done. Well, it's time to start collecting the grass now. Got to get into that silage clamp. Got to try and get all this grass in before we retire for the night. I suspect it's going to be a long one. In any case, let's get this connected. Not sure whether we'll have to collect this, how difficult it's going to be to collect once it gets dark. We've still got to deliver some, at least 1,000 litres of one or other product to both farmers markets before the end of today. So I think we'll do a couple of these loads and then we'll go and fill up we'll go and make the deliveries to the farmers market. Right, we've got to work out how best to get into this silage clamp. Let's try from here. We'll be able to swing in from here. I'm not sure this is going to be the best side to go in from. Well, let's try it. Got to work out these things early on so that we know exactly how to do these things in the future. Yeah, this is a little bit tight. We'll try from the other side next time round, see what happens. Right, it's not too bad. We can get in. Just with my reversing or backing up capabilities, especially on a day like today when my driving skills are questionable to say the least. That's not too bad. It's okay. So we'll get all the grass in from that top field, get it all compacted and sheeted over so that we can get the silage started. And tomorrow, once we've got all the cows in, we'll have to determine whether how much, well, not whether, we will have to buy in some silage. Maybe we'll just put hay in, be cheaper I think. We have been working just off hay while the cows have been in the field. The quantity is less of production, but the quality on proper grass is just fantastic. Right, let's get this next load done. Once we've done this load, once we've offloaded this load, we'll go and have a look and see what product there is to be delivered. There should be enough to put something into the farm shop and the two farmers markets. As we go along, I know we've got a couple of greenhouses dotted around the map. We'll start being able to get some produce from there as we develop, so that we can add that into the farm shop, or of course could also be delivered to the farm stalls. But I think for now, let's get our dairy cows sorted out first of all, then the beef cows, and then we can look at other products for the farmers market and farm shop. Right, get that in, that's good, it's done. Well, it's not quite done, but it will be done in a minute or two. Yeah, I'm quite happy with my choice of forage wagon. It's good enough for the straw, gets the straw into all the main barns. As I said, we haven't tested it out yet on the cattle barns, but those are newer newer build, so I would hope that this smallish forage wagon will be able to get in there. This is also just about the right size for backing up into the silage clamp, especially this first one. So I'm quite happy with that. Quite happy with that purchase. I mean, on this farm, because of the compact nature of the buildings, you're never going to be able to really get one of the big wagons in. We may be able to, but not yet. We can't afford it in any event. Right, guys, we've at least got 1,000 litres of cheese, which we'll put into the farm shop, so that's good. So that's the farm shop sorted out. Oh, it's the corner of my eye. Caught a customer leaving. Must have been one of the last ones. It's right, so we've got two pallets of butter, so we'll take one up to the duck pond first, and then we'll take the other one down to the golf course market, and then that will be our retail outlets stocked, at least with some stock. Getting a bit overgrown coming in here. We must try and do these a little bit earlier in the day so that we can do this in the daylight hours without fumbling about in the dark. It's going to be a lot of dark work tonight because there's still loads of grass to be brought in from the top field. It's got to be done. We've got to get that blanketed over before we sleep today. Right, I think we can just lift this out. Good stuff. Yeah, it's going to be a bit touch and go tomorrow with having to look at buying in some feed for the cows once they get into the barn. Perhaps we should have made hay instead of silage and just put the hay in. Well, we might be able to get some hay done before the end of tomorrow while we're bringing the cows in. Get the kids on that smaller field. There's a thought. Yeah. We'll have to have a planning meeting in the morning with everybody. When I say in the morning, it should be early November. Have a planning meeting how we're going to get through the month. Get all those cows in. Right, so here we are down at the golf course market, and we'll just drop off the second pallet of butter into this market stall. Then we'll head on back up to the farm and go and bring in the rest of the grass. There we go. I think we'll be able to do it. Lights are fairly good on this tractor. It's not going to be easy. The main problem is going to be picking up where you've left off once you've had to come back from offloading. Right, so let's get this into the camp, and then we'll jump cut to the end of the loading. And then the compacting. The compacting is going to take ages. And the biggest tractor I've got is the Steyr. It's only just over 5 tons. So it's going to take ages to compact everything. We'll have to think about that going forward. We'll have to maybe buy a compact roller or something like that to to help out with it. Well, let's first of all just see how long it takes. So here we are. I'll get this load in. Then we'll jump cut to the end of collecting everything. Yeah, I'm going a little bit slowly getting backing these things in, but at least I'm not doing too many of them. So it's just before 11 o'clock, all the grass is in. Now we're going to have to start compacting. We'll see how long it takes. So here we are, we just compacting. We're only at about 8%, and that's just about 11:20. So yeah, this is going to take a while. We'll jump cut to the end. You spend hours watching me travelling up and down here in this tiny little tractor. We're definitely going to have to think about that. Yeah, so there we are, 100%, and it's 3 minutes to 2 in the morning. At least it's done. So that took a good 3 hours. Well, not 3 real hours, but 3 game hours to do. So yeah, that is something that will have to be sorted. But we'll get the blanket on, and then we can retire for the night. And that of course is the end of this episode. Thank you so much for watching. Please like and subscribe, and cheerio.